our focus has been. And it's more important to us that their experience itself is quality and that they understand they can rely on us, even if it's playing tag or hide and seek at a
Yeah.
inspection. That matters to us because we have kids ourselves, and it is hard. It's hard.
Yes. My name is Kevin McIntosh, and this is The Closing Table, where we talk to experts about their experience in real estate all across the country. Let's go. Welcome to the Closing Table Podcast. I am your host, Kevin C. McIntosh. Joining us on this episode, a special episode, I might say, we are joined by two real estate professionals, Baker and Anne Chapman. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing so
Thanks
great.
for having
Thank
us.
you both. Yes, thank you both for being here, accepting our invitation, and getting ready to give us all some knowledge and educate us. We appreciate that. Before we get into the business part of things, let's talk about you two as individuals. We got two people here. I want you to just tell us who you are outside of real estate, please.
So I am a busy mom of three, which means I'm a chauffeur. I am a wife and busy community member. And also probably one of the most important things, a recovering teacher.
Oh, a recovering teacher?
Yeah.
Can we elaborate?
I'm a few years out from teaching, but I loved everything about it. I loved the students. I loved the people. But I didn't love the hours and the stress and the politics that went with it. And so I decided to make a career change, and I'm so happy and grateful I did. So I like to talk to all my other teachers out there. I understand, and I'm still recovering.
There it is.
So, yeah.
You, Anne?
So I'm Anne Chapman, and I, like Amber, also have children. I don't have three, I have two. I'm also married and happen to be married to a pilot. And so with those two kids, I am often very busy running just one me and two of them around town. I'm not a recovering teacher, but I did have a first career in middle management in retail. I was a district manager for about 11 years. I was with actually their international retailer, and I oversaw 19 stores here in the Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin area. And so I left there in 2015 and stayed home with our children for about 6.5 years, and just kind of stir crazy at home during the day, and decided to get my real estate license and get back out into the work world and serving people. So
Nice. It seems like both of, your former lives, if you want to kind of say your former occupations, really serves a purpose, or some of the skills kind of translate over into real estate. Being a teacher, being in retail, like you're still serving people, you're educating people, things of that nature. So I feel like I can already answer the question, but very briefly, can you both tell me how you feel like those skills that you brought from your other profession helps you out now?
sure. Well, I think about what I did in my retail career, and I oversaw, like I said, 19 stores, and I was kind of the jack of all trades. So I wasn't the HR department because we had one, but I still dealt with HR type situations. I wasn't the loss prevention department because we had one, but I still coached people through those situations. And, similar to being in real estate, a lot of those communication skills do translate over, and being able to help people look for things that maybe they're going to go in and try to look at the pretty part of the house, and it's important that we kind of help them zero in on things that are really important. So I definitely do think that it translates a lot of problem solving, a lot of managing of expectations and things like that we have to use and handle every day in this line of work, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like as an educator, you have this room of diverse people, diverse students that all learn differently, that are all at different levels. And I feel like all of our clients, all of our customers that we deal with, even if they've purchased and sold 5 times, there are things that might need to be explained to them a little differently. They might not understand. And so that whole magic word in education is differentiation. You need to, meet everyone where they're at sort of thing. And I think that's what we do a good
Mm-hmm.
job of. And I think it's helped a lot is listening to the client and where are you at? What do you need from us? How can we best meet those needs and educate them so we all end in the same place?
And I think for both of us in our
Yep.
previous careers, at the end of the day, we were serving people and we're still, serving them and making sure that they really are able to get out of the transaction. It's not just a transaction.
Right.
It's not for them because it's a huge investment, and it's not for us because we're very invested in them and what's going on. And so it's for both of us having a service oriented previous career path has, shifted seamlessly. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Well said. And that's pretty much what I was getting at. And I'm glad you took the time to kind of explain it, because kind of depending on not even that, but you can really take a lot of skills from previous occupations depending on what you want to nitpick at, and you can really turn that into something valuable in a real estate profession. So being in the service industry, teaching others in the retail industry, communication, all of that, very, very important in both of those fields. So thank you for explaining that, giving us some more context. Now let's easily slide into you just talking about your real estate business. We have two professionals here, so let's talk about just describe your business. Are you partners? Do you work together? What's your system, your strategy, your methods? Describe your real estate business, please.
Sure. So Amber and I are business partners. We have a combined 7 years of real estate experience. We originally started out individually and determined that we could do more together than we could do separately, and ultimately serving
Mm-hmm.
our clients in a better way by having both of us. Like we mentioned in the intro, we both are mothers and busy, between us, 5 kids and lots of sports and lots of practices. And we also know with the kind of market that we've just been through that getting when something is new on the market and we've got a lot of people calling and saying, can we go see this, can we go see that, that if one of us is busy at an activity, that the other one of us can step in and do a property tour or something. And so we have formed a really great partnership. It works really well for us, and our clients have enjoyed it too. Our testimonials speak to that. So we both love the flexible nature of the business. We're able to work around things that are important to us outside of real estate. But also then we utilize
Mm-hmm.
time for
Mm-hmm.
our clients when it best serves them as well. I'd say our clientele, our niche that we have is really downsizing seniors. We have found that to be a huge part of our business and what we really enjoy in serving them. And I'm trying to
So
think.
rewarding.
It is so rewarding. Yeah. And we recently just
Right.
were awarded the Quality Service Award for this past year. And we're really proud of that because it just shows that the hard work, thank you,
Congratulations.
that we put in every day when we're here has really paid off from what our clients are telling us. So
Good. Good to hear. Love to hear that too. I love to hear about agents collaborating rather than competing. It's so
mm,
necessary. I would love for us to hear that more often. But I get it. It's a you have to, and I hate to say that, you have to eat what you kill, in a sense, with the real estate industry and just being an entrepreneur, period. Like, you have to go out and work and get things done, and being out in that field could be very, very competitive because some people's motivation can be way different from yours, so then you might have to bump heads. But overall, you still have to work with other agents, even if you're representing the buyer, they're representing the seller. You still have to come to the closing table, no pun intended, and you have
yeah,
to work
yeah,
together. So I love to see stuff like this. Thank you for
yeah,
explaining that. If
yeah.
you want to take some time now, let's go into the market that you all serve. Unless you want to say something else, please. I'm sorry.
I was just thinking about that. There was a question earlier that we decided not to really discuss, and it was about if you've ever had a difficult situation with another agent, and we asked you to remove that, and it kind of lends to what you're saying there.
Mm,
Our philosophy in business is we're better together than apart, and we our goal is to serve our clients, and we understand that not all agents are created that way.
Right.
Not all agents share that same mentality as we do.
Mm-hmm.
But when we move through each day and each transaction with people, knowing that that is our top priority, it helps for us to diffuse tough, difficult situations, because we don't address it in a like negative or snarky or harsh way, because it has nothing to do with
Right.
us or the
Right.
other agent, and everything to do with the clients that we're sharing in a transaction. So that's all I was going to say.
That's a fact.
No.
That's a fact. No, well said. I'm glad you added that too. I'm glad you added that because that's perfect. I want to talk about where you are serving now. Let's talk about your market and first describe it geographically. I don't think I've ever been there. So paint that picture for people like me and our audience who've never been there. What makes your market so great?
Yeah, you've never been here? You should visit. We are the perfect combination. We have all the seasons, which I know you do too. Because you're in Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Yeah, we have all the seasons, but we have a small town feel with all the outdoor like recreation, and we have rivers and streams, and we have agriculture around us. But we are half hour from Madison, an hour and a half from Chicago area, and probably a little over an hour to Milwaukee. So we have cities and things nearby, but we have a lot of other opportunities around us. So we're in this, based on all that information, we're in southern Wisconsin. So, yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Cool. Yeah, and yes, I'm in the Midwest too. We're Midwesterners, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we get the beauty of all four seasons. And by beauty, I really mean obviously the summer, the easiest season that we can all enjoy and get out. But the fall time during the Midwest is unbeatable, if you ask me. The fall foliage that we get, the air, the temperatures are almost like perfect. Like it's a beautiful time, and I can kind of relate that to most other Midwest states. So thank you for providing that image for us. Now let's get into the business, the economics, the data. What do you have for us in regards to what real estate is looking like in your market?
Sure. So we are in Rock County, Wisconsin, and currently in our market, we have about 1 month of inventory. So that, as you might guess, really proves to be a challenge for us in a lot of ways. We are really hoping that things can turn around. Currently, we have days on the market is about average of 16, which is actually up 5 over last year at this time.
Wow.
So, yeah, we're hoping that as rates will hopefully come down a little bit more, we'll have more people come out. We're already confident. We've seen more buyers at the beginning of this year coming out and starting to look again, having a little bit more confidence. And our sales price versus list price, we're finding to be about a 1% differentiator. So we'll list it, and about 1% over the list price will be the sales price. So yeah, that one month of inventory is a challenge, but we're working with it, and we've asked people just to, go on this ride with us, and we'll work very hard for them and get them into properties as soon as we possibly can to be competitive. And we've exercised some different ways in writing offers to make them stand out, and have been successful with that. So,
that is extremely interesting. So I want to ask some questions in regards to that for clarity. 16 days on the market on average, but only a 1% difference between the sale and the list price. So it kind of seems, but you also said the 16 days on the market it has grown, or saying that it used to be shorter days on the market for most, correct? On average?
Correct.
So that kind of makes me think the market is slightly changing, but it's still not super competitive. Is that correct?
So it is still competitive. Our days on market is a little bit skewed based on we have some new construction happening, and our new construction, the moment it comes on the market, before it's even built, and thinking in Wisconsin, things get slowed down in the winter too, but they might be on the market for 150 days. And so that kind of messes with our numbers quite a bit.
Yeah.
And we always tell people when we go to list that and it changes, but currently, like if we were going to list a house right now, we would say within 6 days we should have an offer in hand. It is a typical, not new
Mm.
construction. So when we go to what we do is when we pull all those data and all that information, we're going to our MLS and we're pulling numbers, but it's a little skewed.
Yeah, we love a statistic, but the reality of what the statistics are showing and what we're working with most clients in their situations, it does vary a little bit for sure.
Got you. Got you. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So, Amber, as a former teacher, we already kind of talked about how your skills kind of translate from that into real estate. But can we go a little bit more deeper in regards to, yeah, you were a teacher educating, students and whatnot, but now you are still educating first time home buyers, investors, and seniors, things of that nature. Is there a certain communication style that you use that's kind of maybe overall for all of your clients that you took from teaching? Or how do you kind of switch your communication style based on your clients, if you do at all?
I think we do a lot of switching from client to client. That's one of the first questions we ask in our buyer intake is we say, how do you want to be communicated with? We find with a lot of our seniors, we aren't even dealing with, they don't have the ability to email. And in the world we live in, our appointments are all online. So we're picking up the phone call and saying, hey, could someone come look at your house? And so we have a little bit easier communication than that set up with those kind of clients. But at the very beginning, we do that. Yeah. Any thoughts on that?
No, I mean, I think that I see Amber always looking for I'll just speak to how I see her in showings. She's always, you can tell she's a past teacher. She's always looking for an opportunity to teach, to point out, to inform, to make them feel more comfortable in a situation so she might not realize how that translates over, but I see it from the outside and it's very obvious. But in terms of communication, definitely our seniors we communicate with very differently than what we would communicate with maybe another demographic. And so we do just talk about it right at the very beginning. What's the best way of communicating with you? And then anybody, if you've been in the service industry, you get to know people and you really realize then how to zero in on how they respond best. We realize times of day, so and so doesn't like to check their email, so a text is better. So
correct.
There's just no one right or consistent way in which we're communicating with clients because they're all so different.
Yes, 100%. I'm a great example of that too, because depending on how someone reaches out to me and what type of communication situation is, whether it's business, personal, family, whatever, depending on how you reach out to me is kind of going to determine how I respond. Like I would prefer business to be through email, but sometimes it can be a lot more convenient via text. I can get right to you a little bit quicker because I get the notification and things like that. So I know there's a lot of moving parts, moving pieces, quick updates that happen throughout the transaction. So I just was curious as to how you adjust the communication styles with your clients, but I'm glad you actually painted that picture. But considering that you work with seniors and the communication style is already different, just handling them overall, I would imagine be different. You all have this, I don't know if it's a saying, a hook point, simplify living is what you what your method or strategy is based on. Can you talk about how this strategy applies when you are helping your senior clients find their next home, sell their home, whatever the case may be, so that they can move on to their next chapter?
Sure. So we do call it the Simplify Living method. There are going to be a lot of things that we do within that method that are going to be similar to what we would do with anyone that we're listing for or anyone that's purchasing. But we do create it in what we consider a method because it really helps spell out for them what they can expect at each stage, what they can expect from us. The senior demographic, a lot of times they are moving from one living situation to another because of maybe a health concern, whether it be mobility is tough in their home with stairs, or they no longer can do yard work, or whatever the case may be. And oftentimes what we find is that in itself is challenging because that's a realization in life that things are starting to slow down. And so when we go in with the Simplify Living method, just the idea of simplifying life, it hits and feels good, right? And so we go in and we will first meet with them and talk about what their needs are and what their timeline is. And we often also find that there's a lot of overwhelm because maybe they've lived in their current home for 30, 40, 50 plus years. And that's a lot of years of collecting things and storing things and putting things in bins and putting them
Correct.
away, out of sight, out of mind. And
Mm-hmm.
now we have to, the idea
Mm-hmm.
of coming in and taking care of all of that is extremely overwhelming. So we go through this simplified living method with them, appointment by appointment, and those are always in person. Again, this is a different way of communicating than what we would communicate with others, because being knee to knee with this demographic is so valuable. They're really able to understand what our goal is with them. We take a lot more time with them, which honestly, we love it, but it's not for everyone for sure. We have a great network of people that we work with, including a company that helps. They are also specialized in seniors and helps them with downsizing. And they do things from coming in and taking a blueprint of the size of the current home and a blueprint of where they're going to be moving to. I actually have a recent example of a couple that we moved. They were in a condo, so they already didn't have yard work, but they needed to move on to a next living situation. And this company came in and determined what they had, what needed to be moved, what could fit where they were going. And they even so much as helped them downsize and purge. They had an auctioneer come in and take, well, he didn't come in, but he takes things off to auction. So we have a really big network
Right.
with working
Okay.
with them and other people to make the process easy. And the simplify living method it encompasses all of that. It's just a way for us to communicate step by step how we're going to get them from point A to point Z in a comfortable manner that is respectful of where they're at in life, because that's really hard. So that's a little bit
Mm-hmm.
about how we handle that.
No, that's great explanation, because this is what I think. That is 100% true. I mean, over life, over time, as you're moving and living, whatever the case may be, you're going to accumulate all of these things. And I think the essence of spring cleaning is one of the ways we can fix that. It's you take some time out to really purge some things. See what you need, what you don't need. Can you give this away? Can someone else use this? Can you sell this? Whatever the case may be. That way, when you get to those certain levels, moving or downsizing, whatever the case may be, it can make for a little easier transition. And I can see that being a very, very hard moment in life when you say, I've lived in this house 25, 30 years. I've raised my family, my kids, my grandkids here. I just can't do it by myself anymore. I can't do this. So that requires a lot more help and professional help than a lot of people actually think. And one last thing I want to put a touch on: the value in simplicity. The value in simplicity, I see that as the same as the value in convenience, which is why you go to a convenience store, you may get upcharged for certain things a lot more than you would at a Walmart, because it's right around the corner. It's convenient. It's simple for you. So is that them putting in that price on it just lets them know it's high value in the fact that it's a lot simpler for you to obtain and do than anything else. So you bringing that up just sparked those points, and I just want to touch on that. So thank you first and foremost. Before we even hit record,
You bet. Yeah, we always would encourage a good.
No, please.
I was just gonna say we always would encourage a good spring cleaning.
Yes.
But the reality is far different. Oftentimes we actually stopped by to take flowers for Valentine's Day to this one couple, and the gentleman took his son's Letterman jacket out of the coat closet. They had a lot of times we find seniors still have some of their children's things from high school, and their children are probably 50 years old now. So. But always a good spring cleaning for sure.
That's hilarious. No, I get it. I am a purge advocate. I will go in my refrigerator when I go home today and start throwing stuff out. I don't care. My girlfriend will be mad. I'm like, we haven't touched this jar of pickles since we moved here. It gotta go. I'm sorry, that was my rant. But anyway, before we even started, before we even started,
Amen.
I got a great taste of your two characters, personalities. We laughed a lot, we joked a lot. This was before we even hit record. So I already know there's a lot of fun and excitement in both of you too. So can you just talk about how you apply this, having a little fun, turning things that could be a little bit complex into something that could be a memorable experience? You have any examples of you bringing that little fun to the transaction for your clients? Please.
Yeah, we try to just on a daily basis bring some sunshine. And I think with the two of us, it makes it a lot easier. For example, we just had a inspection, and inspections can be long and overwhelming. And we always encourage our clients to be present and to hear things directly from the inspector. And so we go to help with that process. But we were just at an inspection, and there was a 7-year-old girl who got to attend. And that can be a little daunting for a mom trying to listen to an inspector and a little girl wanting attention. And so at that point,
I play video games.
Anne went and she found every hiding place in the house, like there were so many cool spots to play hide and seek. And so one of us was able to do that professional side, and the other one was able to run around and play hide and seek and learn new video games.
Yep.
So, I mean, things like that help. So,
That
we
is
also
genius.
joke all the time with our clients throughout the entire transaction.
Yeah.
And we are dating them, we feel like. We get to go out at night and see them and like go places. And then all of a sudden, like they buy a house and like they stop calling us and they don't need us anymore. And we're breaking
Look
up.
at you.
And so we try our best to we try our best to go back and still visit them and pop by and like drop flowers off or cookies or so we try to keep our relationship after the breakup.
Breakups are hard.
They are.
Yeah,
So
they
hard.
are hard. Yeah. And just getting over Valentine's Day could definitely be hard. I'm joking. But okay, great. I love to hear that because, like I said, it's such a serious, and I hate to even say that because it doesn't have to be a serious situation. It's very important, I'll say that, but it doesn't have to have this serious dark undertone to it. Like, we can have fun, we can educate and have fun, we can laugh a little bit, make jokes and this and that's part of my personality too. So if I was an active agent, I would be the exact same way. But let me tell you, I think that combination that you two did is perfect, because I was thinking of this. I have a son myself, 2-year-old, and I could only imagine me and my girlfriend going to look for homes, and just over time, maybe we looked at 5 homes that day. He's just tired, he's exhausted, and he just wants to run around and he wants to cry. So having something that can kind of not distract them, but take their attention over here, that way we can focus on the actual business of the situation. One of you taking time to attend to the child, one of you actually handling the business. That's why I said that's genius. I think we really need to have that more often. I can see that being a very difficult task with just one agent.
Yeah. We know that not all agents have their business model designed that way. But we are firm that it is quality over quantity. And so if you're trying to blow through X number of transactions a year, that's just not the level of service that we would be able to provide if that's what we were doing. But that's not what our focus has been. And it's more important to us that their experience itself is quality and that they understand they can rely on us, even if it's playing tag or hide and seek at a inspection. That matters to us because we have kids ourselves, and it is hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yes.
So, and I selfishly
teacher,
love that part.
She loves the kids.
Like, oh, you have a baby? This one's my client.
Yeah.
Well said. Love that. Well, I know you both are involved in the community also outside of just doing real estate. As parents, I'm pretty sure you're like I think that was Amber that said that you're a chauffeur, so you probably have to drive them to different events. Soccer club, I'm seeing here, part of organizations like Parents in Education, church, just volunteering community events. I'm sure you all are a part of. Can you talk about, both of you, can you talk about why you choose to do community events first and foremost, and then talk about the impact that you either know or feel that it has on not only the community but your career and your life.
Sure. So I think that, well, I don't think, I know that a service mindset is just who we are to our
Mm-hmm.
core. So being involved in our community just isn't even a thought. Obviously, sometimes we'll, serve a term with one organization and move on to the next organization to serve. But being of a service mindset is just a non-negotiable for both of us. As far as how it impacts um, our community, and our business, I guess, the more people that you know, that you touch, that you interact with, the more people that are going to be part of your network. When maybe you have a client that needs XYZ and you go, oh, I know Cheryl from mom's group at church and she has a husband who does, I just find that our network is bigger by being as involved as we are. And that definitely impacts and serves our clients well when we're in need of something that maybe we don't have a resource for.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely want to be the go-to person when they need a plumber or need someone. And honestly, being in these groups, we have had these relationships built with all these great local vendors and local businesses, and we really are able to share the love.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I think it needs to be done more often now. I have had a handful, not handful, a significant portion of my guests who are real estate professionals actually talk about community involvement, how important it is, how it affects their business, and how they do it basically just out of kindness of their heart. It has no actual attachment to, hey, well, in the long run, this is going to come back to my business. If it helps out my business, it's a good thing. But if not, I still live in this community. I want this community to be safe. I want it to be fun. I want my children to grow up here knowing people. I want them to have a great, connotation to them and our family and everything that we do. So, at the end of the day, yeah, whether I'm a real estate professional or any profession for that matter, a lot more people should be putting that time into their community, because this is all of our home. We all have our individual homes, but this is everybody's home. So let's pitch in and put that work in. And obviously,
Yeah.
sometimes it can come out to work out in your favor on the business side. So before we go, I want to hear something from you two both. This is our motivation part. I want you to tell us if there's a movie, book, quote, philosophy, anything that you've heard, consumed, that helped shape your life personally and or professionally, you can share with us, please.
Yeah.
So there's so many. We actually have Monday mantras where we share some inspirational quote, and those aren't always deep. But when it comes to everyday living life, and it translates so great into the real estate world, I have a favorite verse. It's been my favorite verse forever. It's Romans 12:12, and it's so simple, but it fits every situation. And maybe it's because I can't memorize everything, but I can memorize one thing. It's be joyful in hope. So again, real estate world, we're always hoping for that perfect thing, to find the right thing for someone. And then patient in trials. Real estate, amen. There's always going to be an inspection or something coming up, and then continuing always in prayer. And I just think it just hits me in any situation where I'm oh yeah, there's a trial, or oh, I can't figure this out on my own. We just wait it out, and it'll work itself out. So that's nice.
Now, I don't have one that is necessarily as deep as Amber's. I love that so much. But I always have this thing that I say to myself, and I don't even realize sometimes that I'm saying it, but it's know better and do better. So when you know better, you do better.
You do better.
So when you know what someone's going through, or you can empathize, you do better in a situation to support them. And I also think that it is, I pride myself on being a lifelong learner. I'm always, reading a book or listening to a book or something to help myself continue to learn in whatever area in life I might feel like I am inadequate or could use a boost. Because when you know better, you do better, and you never know what you'll pull from something like that. So being a lifelong learner is really important to me, and it definitely impacts home life and here at work.
I would say at least once a week, you will say, "No better, do better."
Yeah.
Yep.
And off the
No
list.
better, do better.
Yeah.
I
Gentle
love
reminder
that.
to myself, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Joy, patience, knowing better, doing better. Perfect place to land the plane. Thank you both so much for being here. I really can't thank you enough. At this point, if you have any last words or want to tell people how to reach out to you, the floor is yours.
Sure. Well, thank you for having us. This was awesome. We
Yes.
appreciate you inviting, and you can find us at Anne and Amber in real life, Anne and Amber in real life on Instagram. You're gonna know exactly who we are if you find us over there. We have a lot of fun. We like to share important information, real estate related, but oftentimes we're sharing about ourselves and our experiences and things like that. So you can find us over there. Otherwise, if you have, and you can ask us questions or submit anything. If you want more information about our simplified living method, we'd love to share more. You can reach out to us there.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Beautiful. No, thank you both so much. We appreciate it. And for our YouTube audience watching right now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, do us all a favor and hit that like button. Please and thank you. Make sure you also share the content and subscribe to our channel. And if you are listening on Apple, Spotify, or any other podcast platforms, please do the same. Give us a like, a 5-star rating, and subscribe for our latest content. And Amber, I like to leave our audience with a question before we leave because this is a thought-provoking podcast. So, audience, this is for you. Whenever you have or are going out to look for homes and properties on your home buying search, do you take your children and or dependents with you? If so, how do you manage it? And if not, why not? Don't tell us now. Leave it in the comments below. Besides that, we will talk to you next time.